Good evening, viewers. Good evening to everybody. All ladies and gentlemen, we are back from an Insta live show of Unmasking the Facade to a new digital media front with with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all rolled into one from the house of Zach Water Facades. We are here to now another series after completing season one, now in season two of the episodes with facade management professional, rather someone who's a PMC specialist from CBRE, Mr. Hari Govind. We are unmasking the facade for all the architects, developers, fabricators, facade consultants, and to all those who are interested in facades. We are looking forward to a different perspective on project management consultancy and project management execution of facades in general, with reference to the different types of building structures that you get: medium size, which go about up to 8 floors, 8 to maybe 30 floors, and 30 floors onwards to skyscrapers. With this, we're now looking for one and only to come online live, and we're just waiting for him to get online and we move ahead. Just to continue talking till he comes, the whole idea of unmasking the facade is talking a little bit about the journey of the man who comes on the screen and how he got into facades, how fast he reached there, and from there onwards, a little bit about the stories that we move ahead. How are you, Hari? Welcome to the show.
Hi,
are you online,
good
sir?
How are you? How are you, Mr. Navin?
Nice to see you.
Excellent day to start with. Thanks for giving this opportunity.
On a happy Father's Day. So, being a happy father of the only child, I wish you a happy Father's Day. Yeah. Right. I was just talking to the viewers. This is the first time we moved this show from Instagram to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and we started off with a man like you. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks once again to Zach and you also, Hard from Zach. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share my experiences and also interact in an informal way with you. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Sorry, let's get straight to the point. You know, facades are very, very complex. Facades are very, very intriguing. Facades are something which you don't pick up in any school. Facades are something that you grow into them, or the facade grows into you. And the penetration and facade business is something that gets into your blood and your DNA. Can you tell us something about your journey of how you got into facade and your brief journey of your education and how you became an engineer and your life? How did it all start, sir? NGU group, and let's take it from there. It's a long journey for about 35 years. Can you tell something about yourself and to all the viewers?
Yeah, surely. It's an excellent opportunity to share my journey also with you, along with my viewers also. I belong to a small village. Actually, it's named as Bhavnagiri, close to that place. It's very close to that temple town of Chidambaram, which is there in South India. Okay, our family. My father was the first graduate from that village. On the Father's Day, I can take this opportunity to congratulate him for being the first graduate from that village. Yeah, and for he moved and we moved to Chennai, and he got hired with a state government job into warehousing, and he rose to the level of secretary and chief executive officer of that organization. Okay, that's how he has grown. And while taking care of all of us, so I did my school from St. Thomas High School is my school. I did my schooling there, and then I left to the Garden City of Bangalore. Okay, so I did my engineering there. from MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, civil engineering by the background. And my career started from there, and I started to work as a site engineer. Started with technical assistant in a PWD for organization, and then moved as a site engineer in with FR Constructions, and started doing some pretty good residential office kind of small buildings which we were attempting to do, and it went on well. So started climbing the ladder. Interestingly, we start meeting people, and all those journey starts. So it's interesting. So from there, life was moving on, and changes were happening. Excellent time to get involved in projects by or at stage multiple projects at the later stage.
Tell me. Sorry, I have a bad throat today. And in this COVID time, I've been taking flights, so it's another story. But coming back to this story about you being, from a small, humble family, your father being a small man, and from a good, humble man, and you get to become an engineer. And from an engineering background, did you straight away get into facades, or what was your life story, and what was your journey? And can you just tell us a little story about that? Because I know that you are very fascinated with aluminum, and you even have a story about Jindal aluminum section number 4502. So if you can share it with the viewers, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, with FR Constructions, we were actually steel structural fabricators. We had a unit, and it was run by Mr. Shakir, Niyaz Ahmad Shakir. So we were doing steel fabrication mainly, and into little bit of construction, civil construction, smaller apartments and those kind of things. And we suddenly came into contact with one of the contact wherein we have to do some aluminum works also. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. Our subcontractors were not performing at those days itself. So we thought, what is this? We should buy this aluminum and we should fabricate it. So we started our first windows in our factory. Then we got realizing that, oh yeah, we can do this. So as in separate streamline. So we started setting up a factory for that, and we came into this section while we were rolling our catalogs of Jindal and other things. This is a section which was used for stick glazing, if I'm right. My memory goes right. I think 4502 is the section number. And we bought this section, and we started doing some research on that, like a small toy with us. So we started doing frames with that, and started using that age-old Norton sticking tape, and started putting glass on it. And we understood can hold it, and into. So that's how we started that as a separate stream of facade on a very small level, but constantly we were getting jobs on that to do that. I think
very interestingly you say. You very interestingly said something just now, that at that time, this was how many years ago are you talking about? We are in 2020. You're talking of which year? 1985, 1990?
Yes,
what did you say just now?
95, 93, 95, those kind of timelines.
You're talking about 93, 95. Yeah, you said 93, 95, and you said subcontractors at that time were not performing. Sir, let me tell you, with due respect to the industry, with due respect to the contractors, subcontractors didn't perform. So it's the magic of the facade fabricator to make them perform with the money of the developer, the speed of the professional project manager, and with the dream of the architect, and with the prudence of the facade consultant. How to make everybody perform is magic. So what are you talking about in 1985 till 2020, sir? And there have been so many
Yeah, yeah.
companies, even Shambulji
It's true.
Palani sometimes
It's
decided to start their own fabrication company, which you are aware called SP Fab. So it's a story. It's a story.
yeah.
Coming to this story, what is your inspiration? You know, you from there, you got into some other company, you were there associated, and you got inspired, if I know right, with a building in Chennai. Can you just talk
Yeah.
about that and tell our viewers
Can
the
I start
story
my
about your inspiration? You are connected with us.
yeah, I just would like to share my screen.
Please go ahead.
I talked about this. This is my hometown, Chidambaram. This was our first interaction with the facade. This was Apollo Hospitals, where we connected two buildings by a facade. A self-standing in the sense it is connected only with one single column at the center, almost 13 meters span, 6.5 meters on either side. This was a steel fabrication along with aluminum. Okay, my inspiration about facade. Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, my inspiration about this facade, whole facade industry, is that this building is the Tidal Park, which is there in Chennai. Okay, I used to cross this building every day for my work. I was some band building in Adaya, which is close by. This was done in a record time of 15 months, I think, if I'm right. The whole building was constructed by Hyundai, along with L&T, and along with DM Wall, who is the facade vendor for this. I used to watch these panels going up just like that on everyday basis. When I come back in the morning, next day morning, there will be a new elevation for that added up on this project. Okay, so it's always a dream to enter into this project and see what is happening actually. How are they doing this on a daily basis? I used to watch some 3,000 workers walking into this project and coming out. A massive project at that point of time in Chennai. A very interesting project to watch, at least. So I got inspired with this project, and what to say? After 3 years, I got a call from my current company, Richard Ellis, for doing property management for this project, this building. It was a stepping stone for me, actually. I got into the intricacies of this kind of a major project where the services are more important for this building. Okay. So being a civil engineer, I was exposed to the services of this building thanks to my boss at that point of time, Mr. B. Ravi, who was able to explain me. He's a double degree engineer. He was in mechanical and electrical engineering. He was able to explain me about all the services. I got knowledge on this. I was good design part of it, execution. Even though I was not part of that execution, but I was able to understand, visualize the of it, and take it to the operation side and understand the nuances of how this building operates. It's a big subject actually. Once the construction is taken over by the property and facility management team, and it's run the multi-tenant building occupants. So it gave me that kind of stepping stone for me to understand
Boost of
larger
confidence.
buildings, larger kind of operations and other things. From there, I think I moved on to Ascendus as a developer in Pune. I went for a project in Pune after 20 years, I think I moved to Pune from Chennai. One fine day I decided and I said, okay, I'm joining them. I came to Pune and got settled there. There we started working on projects at various locations, Pune and Nagpur. We did the design and it was about to start. By that time, there was call from reality and infrastructure offering a very good project which is my favorite project. So I joined them almost like 12 years, 12 years, 1 plus actually I should say with them. And recently I moved to CBRE. This is how is the journey
Super.
of my personal side. Everywhere, it's only the relationship I have developed and people whom are coming back always be good to me, and I also be good to them. That's how it goes on, and the journey was like that. Very, very interesting, a very inspiring part of the thing. I always like that journey and enjoy the journey moment. Hopefully, I have covered my journey to you.
Great. Let's go on, sir. So, Hari, we go to understanding that you are a facade management professional, and this has been your inspiration story. This particular building. Can you hear me, Hari? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to
So
you now is that
it's
this was a fine building. It was one of the official buildings that came up in the country with facades, with the facade as a prominent element, wherein, if I still remember, C. N. Raghavendra Rao was the architect. There was a Korean firm which came in from Korea to do up the aluminum glazing. And if I recollect, between Hyundai and L&T, they used to have more than 3,000, uh, you know, labor power per day on a working day. Am I right or am I wrong?
yeah, it's right.
Am I right
Actually,
or not?
Mr. Kim from DM Wall was there,
Yeah,
who was doing this project.
yeah, right. No, this was a very, very interesting project, and if you can now get this off the screen, and we can continue talking in the next part post this project. So if I can see your face, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, back.
surely.
Okay, right. So
Yeah, thank
where I'm
you.
coming to. So where I'm coming to now, that this is a very interesting building, a very large building, and so many people on the site, and they created magic with C. N. Raghavendra Rao. I still remember at that time. And Kim came from Korea, and they set up this small unit in Chennai, and then they went to the place next to Saint Gobain factory. It was an inspirational building for you, for most people in this country. And if I come back to you, after this, how did Façade impress, into your mind system? You came into Tata's, you were with Tata's, for more than 10 to 12 years, if I'm right. How far to you is, how Façade you is as a facade professional? Can you share thoughts on this project? Future, your
Surely, I'll
past.
go back to my presentation and then speak on this.
Go on.
Okay. When you were discussing about project management for this as a professional, that is elementally, it's not only an element of building. So more of focus is there on any project any project management team on the facade. Okay, it's not only just an envelope; it also gives the characters and ethics, functional, very very functional. Uh, it plays a great role in sustainability also, on energy saving, and as well as giving other features, touching other features of sustainability in a project. Okay, including wellness of the occupants. The most interesting part of a facade with the glass or whatever material is that it is maintainable. One wash, it will make it again glow with the same new finish. That's the best part of this of glass facades. So that's why it's always an interesting part to touch upon and feel that. Okay, that's how I feel facade as a very important element in a project management. But when I talk about facade, it's not only facade. Actually, facade is one of the element. project management. When I look into that,
No,
uh,
Hari, I think this is an important question. What is your project management perspective on facades?
yeah, that's how I'm framing my next slide actually.
Yeah.
Okay, when I talk about project management of these stuff, huge projects, we're talking about in 3 million, 7 million of campuses what we have developed so far for both for our own and for our clients also. There are which are involved so many elements. Suppose I take a package, a tender package of that, you run into 35 to 40 packages for each project. Okay. So facade is one of it. But what has happened is you recent past years. Earlier, you, for example, just to give a clarity on this, earlier we used to do the civil contract package first, and then our lifts and escalators will come as the second package. For the last 1 decade, facade has become the second package for any procurement as a strategy. Okay, so that's the importance we give for this kind of facade package, facade as a whole in a project management perspective.
Where you're
Why I'm
coming from
talking
is
about
that,
project management perspective.
no, Hari, where you're coming from, you just mentioned the first package should be awarded as early as the second package. Even the lift package comes after that.
Yeah, all the other packages comes back behind that. That's the way most of us, I think, we are working in that direction only. Mostly the second package will be from the facade, so that we will get them on early on board, so that we can achieve our project goals. That's how we are thinking about it. I also want
So
to emphasize.
is that primarily done because you feel that there is a so can you come back on the screen because we like to see you rather than see the picture of what you documented.
Yeah, okay. I'll shut down this sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think
From the
my question is, do you feel that it's a very important element, like you mentioned about being the second page, the facade being the second page? Is that because the facades are unorganized? Is that because the builders are unorganized? Is that because the facade consultants have not given you the drawings? Or is it just, in the fact remains that there's too much of planning and procurement and documentation and material takeoffs to be done?
No, it's a sheer experience of it's an industry actually. You cannot say that it is because of the vendor, the partner, project partner, or because of the consultant or whatever it is. It is a practice now which has come because of the learnings actually. How much time it takes actually to get this on board, get the facade partner on board, and then how we run the entire show and how we get this final date on place. All those things are critical in this. So it has moved to the critical part of a project actually. If I put in the right way.
If I recall, very complex, large dimensional project for the Tata Group in Pune on a 25-acre land, wherein you had to bring in 3 fabricators to do this job. Can you share with the viewer something on your experience of how you could get the facades completed such a large project in a very tight span of time?
Yeah. Okay.
The best part is I can only see myself like a mirror all over your screen, sir. We need to see the picture. Wow, that is interesting.
Okay. So I just want to share the thing about this project. This project is on a 50-acre project and a huge development for an Indian MNC. That's the TCS. We did this project for them at that point of time. It was the procurement strategy itself that we decided that we'll have 3 partners with us to do this project. One based on our timelines requirement, and second is that we will have a fallback arrangement in case anything is not working. So that's the idea. We did that, and it was very well. So all of them performed for the school to get the full thing. That's what I want to show you. That will you give me that time?
Yeah, sure. Show the project. We have another 2, 3 to show the project. Want to show the pictures?
Yeah. Okay. This is the shape around TA land. This was designed by the architect Mr. Franklin from Los Angeles, and a big team has worked on this. At peak, we were around 80 engineers. We were working on the project. Okay. This includes the partners who were involved in that on different packages and their engineers. So it was 80 engineers, and maximum we touched around 3,200 workers at one point of time. That's peak of project. And as you can see, it's all various shapes. It's circular. We had a walkway, glass walkway. This was done. And key features about the project when I am touching on this, we had unitized facade, a double skin facade on the south side with perforated screens. We had calzip sheeting on east and west side with thermal insulation. A huge skylight area of around 6,300 square meters. The entire length of the project is almost like 800 meters, less than a kilometer. Length of facade was there. There were glass walkways connecting the blocks, and there were dry cladding of granite sloping on the facade. So you can see that sloping granite which was there on the east side of the facade.
Super, super.
And huge skylight which was visible. You can see the facade volume there. This is only a part of it, of one block, but all put together it was almost like 6,300 square meters of skylight.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So let me share with me that to come to facade as an element in the delivery of the project. I mean, besides this project, can you discuss about how important is it in terms of? Oh, you already got a slide on that. Facade factors in the success of project management. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, to my right, I think you are able to, on my screen, you can see a building which is a double skin facade, which is there from Australia. So I thought it's a good elevation to see work on. That's why I just pasted it there. On the factors in success of project management, the whole project management I already discussed about that. It is it's complex, but at the end of the day, when it is completed, project is completed, it looks simple. Okay, that's how I look at project. Okay, the projects are very complex. Once it is completed, definitely it is simple. Okay, and facade, as you also need to speak on facade and how do you manage that project management team. I have listed down some 10 points here. All 10 I'm not going to run through and read through this. Definitely I will touch upon the important stages. I think the design stage is more important, wherein the architects gives the intent and we have our facade consultant and the QS there to cost it and time it out also, how much time it is going to take us, and those things are taken out at the budgeting stage itself. Very crucial thing is the procurement strategy. As I was pointing out in one of the projects, we have even engaged 3 partners for us. So the right partner is the more crucial thing for any large projects what we are looking at. And the next stages follows like design and shop drawing approvals. This is one stage where we have to closely monitor. It should be a collaborative approach between the partner, the facade consultant, and the project management team. A lot of the times we see that it's happening again, but it doesn't gets completed or concluded. So we'll have to step in and get into a conclusion for this. so that the next step of mock-up and testing can be done, and that's how the projects are giving us success. If you are doing this, have a collaborative way to do this is getting into the nitty-gritties and finding out and closing it. That's the mind of it between the facade consultant and the partner. The next is the mock-up and
Hari, if you
testing.
leave
Yes.
your slide on, Hari, if you leave your slide on, and if the viewers can see what you documented from design stage to handover, if you go back to the slide before this, you go back to the slide before this. No, after this, yeah. And if you leave this one, no, the next one, sir, the next one,
That's
the
clear?
next one, Hari. No, the next one, where you written design stage to handover. I think in India, particularly in India, after transportation and delivery, which is the what you mentioned, the fourth last from the bottom line up, and where you written installation. I think between that you have to add one more line. It has to say complete site readiness by the civil contractor. Many a times
Yeah,
in India,
it's
we
on.
notice that after you bring all the material to the site, and I'm sure you and I have worked on a site together, which we don't need to discuss also. Everywhere it happens, after materials come to site, invariably the site is not ready as per the requirement of the facade fabricator. The installation doesn't start, or the man is forced to do the work on site. Then there are gaps, then there are 100 issues. And I think that is an important critical part of your project management, sir.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that site readiness will be before the procurement of your material at site.
Oh,
So
you
if
said
I'm
you
doing
tried
an
this to put,
eight
yeah.
floor project, three floor
Okay,
projects,
great.
three
Great.
floors should be ready for your readiness
Right.
for your next
Okay. Okay.
activity of whatever
Sorry,
it
with
is.
due apology and respect to you, you got way ahead on that. Great, sir. Can we move
Yeah.
on next? I mean, now that you spoke about your perspective on project management and your facades, what are the factors in success of project management you already discussed? Can you talk about anything about any of your projects or anything else you want to discuss about? Any particular projects?
Yeah, I think I spoke about this Shayadri Park and its special features about this project. Definitely, it's one of my favorite projects what I have done, and it gives an immense pleasure to see this photograph on the left when it was totally
Yeah,
completed.
sure.
That's how it is.
Can you share some very interesting examples about what kind of difficulties you had where after material comes on site and the sizes don't match and the glasses don't fit in and the site is not ready or everything is ready and the fabricator fails? How do you solve these problems in India in terms of project management, facade project management? I mean, I'm sure I can keep on going on, but people would rather hear even your opinion and from where you are coming from as a professional.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. It's a collaborative effort, and to understand this, you have to understand the intricacies of this, get into the bottom of this, and see, and get the partner on board on your right side, on side, and get these things done. Definitely, there will be a kind of challenge everywhere, and
But if
every
I see
project
your face, it's
varies
better, sir.
unique. Okay,
Ali, if I
so
see
these
your
challenges.
face, it's better. Hari, if I see your face, is better than for everybody.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming.
It's the first
Okay,
time you're
sorry
using
for that.
this. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
I think this is,
It's more, it's more,
we have
there's
to
more
get
connect.
used to this.
No, let
Yeah,
me ask
sure.
you a question. In India, what happens? We bring in the materials, the site is ready, or sometimes we don't bring in the materials, your drawings are ready, the raw materials don't come in. Where do you really see is the pitfall of facade project management?
No, that's what I'm saying. Again, this as a project is unique, this problem is also unique. So it depends upon the project actually what is happening. So we can easily pick it up from initial stages. If you are able to pick it up early, then you can resolve it very quickly. For picking it up early, you need that experience to find out where the actual thing is there, whether it is the not signed drawings or whether it is the material which is not coming on time or the readiness of the site. That's the reason every one of us in this field are following that second package should be the facade package. I also checked up with my other colleagues who are there in UK. They also mentioned the same thing. They also have this facade as a critical item. Okay. Last week I was there in a webinar with Arcadis. Okay, Arcadis is a consultant, well-renowned consultant. They were doing a claim study, how to do this on this COVID, the critical situation, how they have handled. I was surprised. So they have 11 weeks of delay only for facade. Okay, so they also mentioned.
Come on, you're not the only country in the world. Go on.
No, we're not. No, it's not like that. But the thing is that it's not only only as 11 weeks, because they are understanding the complexity of this, because it's not only one item which is there. There are 10 items which has to come there and get it fabricated as a panel and reaching the project site. Okay, so there were some 9 weeks of already lockdown and other things. So that's why they were mentioning 11 weeks of delay. Okay, so it's critical everywhere. It's not like that it's only critical for us. It's critical for everywhere. Various locations also it forms as a critical activity. But at the same time, we have solutions for this. That's the only one thing which is that when we start working collaboratively and seeing that, looking ahead and see that this is come. How do you manage this?
Sir, let me interrupt you. You said looking at it ahead, looking at it collaboratively. Now that is a generalized statement. Every woman is beautiful. That's not a question, sir. What goes wrong in facade management? You're a professional. You've seen it. You've done, I thought 25 acres. You've done Sahadri with, 50 acres. You've done work in Nagpur with TCS. I recollect we as Aluplex have worked with you on the Ramanujan Park. I mean, we can discuss that a little later. But coming back to that, what really goes wrong? Why does the developer have to scratch his head and say my facade is incomplete? You have to say that on the screen today, sir. You said with my experience in this topic. What goes wrong?
See, actually, Mr. Navin, you are there in this field before I came inside construction itself. Okay, before I started working itself. So we know that actually what is happening. In your language, or if I put in your language, you will say the cash flow issue. Okay, but I don't think so. It is the only issue. It's a way of looking at it. Definitely, we are able to do that, and all the partners who we have worked with across, I think we have worked with the major players, and everybody has performed equally well. Equally well. And what is all improved and extensively. There is a good kind of management now.
I think, from where I'm summarizing, coming back, I think it's having a review meeting at the project site every 15 days from day one. After you get a letter of intent, every 15 days, if there is a review meeting of the facade contractor, of the owner, and of the project management company, whoever is in the project management, things always perform. Everything moves in a very, very professional manner. This is where I would like to summarize from what really goes wrong. I mean, besides, bringing materials, there are too many agencies involved.
Obviously, you are right. Actually, there should be a lot of interaction. That's why I was saying that collaborative way we have to work with the partner and stand by them and get this done. And especially there is, of course, we have 35 other vendors also on board, our partners on the board, to get this project done. It's not only the facade. So if somebody loses focus on facade, then it comes back to you at a very, very fast manner, because that's the envelope which has to be closed first.
Coming back to the facade element, coming back to raw materials, I mean, what do you have to say about the follow-up that everybody has to do with the aluminum extrusions and glass, and these are the two critical elements in silicon which you are aware of. Would you like to share your thoughts on how early all these three items should be procured?
There are two ways of working on it. One is that leave everything to the partner who can take up all the procurement and come back and say, here is your panel, That's the ideal situation for us, and that's the best way to do work on that. We have to give the equal importance and the leverage the experience of the partner who's coming on board, because they are all subject matter experts in their whole own field. But at times we have to get inside and put our hands and see that whether all these equipments materials have reached their factory and whether it is going to be delivered on time. Definitely on the weekly meetings and the progress meetings what we have with the partner, definitely we will understand this. And I used to use this peculiar term. Sometimes you would have also heard about this, the laundry list.
Correct. The laundry list is a famous Hari Govind word.
It's more.
It's a famous Hari Govind word from the
So
data reality. Can you talk about the laundry list?
No, the laundry list. Any package you can get a laundry list, which I call the minimum which has to reach to the site at what time and what deliverable period is there, and a close monitoring has to be done. This is normally we do in any projects across all the packages, but in Façade we have to go in still in depth and see. And to my surprise, sometimes we engage with some partners who will not require this also. Sometimes at times they don't require that kind of a monitoring.
You want to share your experience on double skin facades now? On double skin facades and what you worked on the logistics of very large panels where you brought them to a site and we had to cut off wires across the street to carry them and bring them? And how difficult project management is there.
Yeah, so it depends on that project. I told you it's very unique, and each project is unique actually. How to approach and how what is the plan and what kind of challenges we are facing. Those challenges are addressed, okay, collaboratively with the partner. That's easy. And we were successful in doing that with support of the partners.
You know, having said that and coming around, what do you think are your thoughts about work in India compared to how it's going to be overseas? And we're not talking about COVID. You are a person who's very much keen in knowing that India will get to the next level of facade. We are doing tall skyscrapers now. What is your thought process and vision of what do you feel? Do you think the market is right? Do you think the work is ready? Do you think the fabricators are ready? Some thoughts as CBRE and as a facade project professional.
Yeah, really, actually, the market is moving, and we are seeing some tall buildings also coming up very recently. Even when we were thinking about office buildings are only up to 10 floors or 12 floors, today we are talking about 18 floors, 20 floors, 22 floors of office building, or more than that also. People have started moving at office building because my core competency is into office commercial buildings. So that's why I'm talking that sort of rise in that. Of course, the residential is growing beyond that. Now we are talking of residential, and all those things are happening. Not only abroad, in our country also it is happening, which is all very encouraging to get into this kind of construction and project management mode of that. Those kind of high-rise buildings. Okay. That's
having said
next stage.
Project management basically, you rightly said, at the design board, and then you come down like you sketched it out in terms of procurement, in terms of getting your approvals, your drawing, procurement, your site readiness, production, logistics of supply, transportation, installation, inspection, and over. We both spoke about having collaborative forces to bring it together and having a review meeting. Correct? But I'm coming back and zeroing in on the same question. Why is it that facades, I'm talking in general, okay, I'm not talking specifically. There may be 4 or 5 people in 4 or 5 top companies that perform. As an industry leader today with Aluplex, I feel that all companies should come to the same level. I mean, you like to say that you want, yes, we appreciated that 5% always in the front. No, everybody can't be a Michael Schumacher from where I'm coming. Everybody can't be there up there. But having said that, why is it that the facade man is always held with a black tag and always thought that he will delay my process? Come back to that line a little more. You yourself said that the package should be awarded number 2. Why? Can you throw some light on that?
Yeah, see. So it's a question of kind of performance in the earlier projects and all those things. When we see our experience on or our learnings drives the owners or the real estate developers to look into this as critical thing. That's why when somebody says it can be done in 10 months, you have to add 2 months to that in your project timeline and work backwards and see
Why do you add those 2 lines? Why do you add those 2 hours? Why do you add those 2 days? Why do you add those 2 months? Can you share the screen today? What is your opinion? What goes wrong?
This is a real question which actually
Please understand.
I enjoy this question of
I take this builder soul. Why is a should operate and give you more time? And why am I not justified in getting 2 months more time? Can you, as a professional who's worked so many years, I'm not putting you in the box, sir. This is a very candid day-to-day interview with you. A man who's got so many years of experience.
No, actually.
What was wrong, sir?
No, the straightforward answer for this is that the prescription in the tender and moreover by the when it comes for the contract award, if you say 10 months, definitely I think we should add that time because of uncertainties in this industry, mostly because of a lot of things are there, like it's not a single procurement what you have to do. You have to do procurement from different agencies and get assembled. There is a glass supplier, there is a processor, there is a supplier for your fixtures, there is a supplier for your aluminum extrusions, there is a supplier for each and everything which you have to get it and you have to get it assembled. Okay, so there are challenges in this. We do understand that, and that's why we take this additional time and clock it in our schedule, especially when it comes to the time is the essence of our project management, and definitely it is the primary factor for us delivering projects on time. That's the kind of thing which we are working on. That's how it has to be taken forward for any project of larger magnitude.
Sir, with due respect, sir, you said it all, but we are still not able to specify. If I can aid you from where I am coming, now from as the side of the fabricator, I think basically and privately all fabricators should get all their drawings approved and then should be the start date. You only get part drawings approved and you don't get part drawings approved, but still the end date. The owner gives you, the owner has a problem with cash flow. I've come to that answer. Are you with me from where I'm coming, sir? I think there has to be privately, all drawings have to be approved on the due date. The site readiness is always to be there, and there has to be a team of person which has to be ready. And only then a success story comes, what you call collaborative efforts. If we can summarize on things, I think we've said a lot in today's meeting.
Yeah, that's what I try to summarize in my presentation also. Out of the 10 factors, the top three on the line is the design and the approval. So as a project lead or a project team, we cannot leave this only with the partner and the consultant. We have to step in and get it closed also to the extent. Full signature on completion of the design. We have experienced it, and you are also experiencing. You are also saying that this has to be done. This has to be done, and then only the project can move to the next step of success. Otherwise, it will be lying somewhere, and it will crop up to some time that this drawing is not good, this drawing is not good. So I think that's the best project management have to do. That's a part of the best project management we have to do.
So I think the best project management is, like we're saying, is that the owner, the facade consultant, the project management professional, and the fabricators should get together, have a 15-day review meeting, like we said, and every item should be
Yeah,
brainstormed. Right, correct? And in every item, we should
yeah,
basically get the designs approved. We should have site readiness. We should do procurement on time, and all the elements should be joined together. Am I correct? And all the shoelaces should be locked
yes,
in, tied up, so that nothing goes wrong. Am I correct?
yeah, yeah.
Am I
Signed and
correct?
sealed.
Yeah, like signed,
Yeah,
sealed, and
100%
delivered.
you're
Like
right.
we said,
If that is the case,
yeah, I think you know
yeah,
what? I
if
would like
that's
to. I
there,
would
then
like to
it
share
can be
something
delivered.
with you. I would like to share something with you. Whether you do a 7-story building in 9 months, or whether you do a 17-story building in 11 months, or whether you do, I'm talking from experience because we've done more than 65 floors, 4, 5, 9 towers now, or rather 6 completed and 3 more on the way. That, or whether you do a 65-story building spread over 3 years or 4 years' time. I think the project management only succeeds when everybody and all elements come together. And this is where I'm, where you are calling it
Yeah,
collaborative efforts, and I call them, repeated joint meetings. Yeah. Having said that, and we've got the last 5, 7 minutes, can you share something about what do you think is the future of facades in terms of any pictures that you have or
yeah.
photographs that you have?
I got a slide for that. Yeah, definitely. I got a slide for that. I think you will also accept this. My point
Please.
of view. Yeah, I call this as onward and upward because we are going to get taller buildings and we are going to have new technologies. There is something called as interactive smart glasses is going to approach us, wherein we can eliminate all our sunshade requirements and other things. And this will be a very interactive smart glass which can start giving you shade as and when required and at your requirement. This is all coming up. This is using some nano coatings and other things these glasses are going to have. We are going to have these smart glasses very shortly, even though it's very costly, but it can be used in specific places as per the law on this. Most importantly, I'm looking at standardization. Whether any kind of standardization, this answer lies with all of you from the facade fraternity. And also looking at modular, whether we can do modular facades with that. That's next thing of that.
Super idea.
Now it's
Super idea.
yeah modular.
Super idea. Excellent
It should be
suggestion.
modular.
Standardized.
We have to look at that, and of course, again, it depends on the design uniqueness of the project and all those things. In spite of that, if there can be a standardization for looked into, then it's nothing like that. Because every time we are designing the aluminum extrusions, of course, the wind load changes, city changes, wind load changes, everything changes, the design changes. So the requirement of the section also is coming to each. But even over above that, we have standardization, nothing like that. So we can save time on that. If it is modular, then nothing like that. Of course, we are doing everything offsite now, which is very good. We get in a controlled environment. We get very good product to at par with the international standards we are hitting. Of course, always there is going to be new innovations, new products which we have to welcome and start introducing it. As of now, we were using glass fitting for control of daylight and other things. Now we have got digital printing on facades. Like that, we will have many more things to come, which will be onward and it will be progressing. Okay. Also, we are now going to see the new facades with clay tiles. That's what something which is new, which I have come up with. I have put up this building here, Australia 108, which is above the clouds. So I would love to see India also having some buildings like this, which is above the clouds. Okay, that's my view on.
it wrong. It says
Upward path.
multiplex.
Upward and
Aluplex. Somehow I said your picture says multiplex. It should say Aluplex. Multiplex is a big contractor from Australia. Having said that, sir, if you can come back on the screen, we can go back and come to the end of the program because you summarized most of the details today, and it's deeply appreciated what you said. If you can come back on the screen, this is the first digital media in a different format. I think you said it all, Hari. I didn't ask you 4 or 5 more quick rapid fire questions, but I'm not going to put you in the box because I love you, sir. I respect you, sir. Rapid fire for you is not done. You're a director at CBRE, but I need to ask you only one simple question. You work with a lot of facades, okay? I'm going to ask you only 2 technical questions. You work with the unitized system, which is, the 2 barrier, sorry, the 3 barrier, 4 barrier, the 5 barrier. You're also a perpetuator or the propagator of the first unitized system, of the first non-unitized system, which Section 4502, which is the stick wall system, was very popular in UAE some time back, where they did 40-story buildings with the stick wall system. Unitized or stick wall, what would you prefer?
So I would prefer the unitized stick wall. Stick glazing was for those period when this kind of systems were not available. Now that we have unitized, nothing beats unitized system, which is all done offsite, and it can be manufactured and other things like that very quickly, and it can come to the thing to the product. I think stick glazing.
Okay, my last,
we have moved out of that.
My second and last question to you will be on a spandrel panel. Spandrel panel, pick your first option. Glass composite panel, ceramic tile, or clay? Glass.
Are you with me? So we have tried glass. We have tried glass in the spandrel panel. Then you'll have to have a backing and all those things have to come in place.
I'm not discussing. I'm talking extra. An aluminum composite panel,
okay,
glass, tile, or clay?
I just want to try clay now. that's a question. I can say that I want to try clay because we have tried glass, we have tried ACP, we have tried other metals also. But now I want to try this clay also. If somebody is giving a project, is giving me a chance to learn about clay, and try that new thing and see how it is performing.
We spent an hour with you, sir. Thank you so much for your insight on project management, facade
thanks
project
for your
management.
time, it was wonderful speaking to you.
Right, and I think we have to say a big thank you to the sponsor, to big thank you to Zakir Bhai, big thank you to Ahad, to the Zach Group of Façades, to Hari Govind himself, the man in the vision of the show today, the man from the family, got involved with project management, stood outside the building, saw it coming up years ago in 1995, got inspired by Façades, is a facade management professional himself, and more about it you will hear in the next 1 or 2 years. He's right now with CBRE and he's a director. And with that, sir, we wish you all the good luck, all the energy, all the hard work, and hope to see you again, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Navin, and thank Zach for this opportunity. It was a wonderful experience going on live and answering you. Thank you very much, and see you there. Thank you. Thanks for the viewers also.
Thank you.
And wish you all a happy Father's Day. Thank you. Bye.